Alexander Vershbow is a former ambassador to the Republic of Korea and NATO, and we have him here with us today to give us your thoughts, Ambassador, about how you just think the big picture has gone. I know that the president has had to use a little bit of flattery. Was that necessary in order to get the diplomacy going?
Well, perhaps a little bit of flattery can go a long way, and I think the overall atmosphere of this meeting was positive, and that can at least help create a favorable framework for talks. But I'm very disappointed about the substance of the meeting, to be honest. The statement's really thin gruel. It didn't advance the ball at all down the field on denuclearization. In fact, the language is weaker than the agreement that the Bush administration had reached back in 2005. So we don't know about the scope, we don't know about the timing, we don't know about whether there's going to be any verification. So we could have gotten more.
Do you think, Ambassador, that maybe was just because this is just the first meeting and it was a chance to establish a relationship? And I know that Secretary Pompeo and John Bolton, certainly not known to be doves, will be going over to North Korea. And do you think that this provides them basically now a chance to say, all right, we're going to put you to the test now with some more specifics?
Well, that's certainly where we are, and I think it's good that Pompeo is going to be leading the talks. He's already immersed in the subject. He knows what's at stake. But it's a very steep hill to climb, particularly when the North Koreans, I think, despite all the political gains that they got from this meeting, just meeting with the president itself was a big gain, boost their status in the world. Looks like we're almost recognizing them as a nuclear power. They could have given us a bit more. But now we have to get on with putting them to the test, and I think early. We have to think of some early tests that would involve dismantling missiles, warheads, or taking things out of the country that actually cut into their capability to threaten us.
Ambassador,
beyond the symbolic.
Can I have you listen to Senator Lindsey Graham on the goal going forward? Listen.
Okay.
I know who we're talking. We're talking about a guy who's just a complete thug and a killer in North Korea. I have no illusions about who we're talking to. He is not a nice man, but he will do what's best for him and his inner circle. Trump's got to convince him that you'll be safer and more prosperous by giving up your nukes than if you keep them. It's all about Kim. It's all about his regime. It's not about the North Korean people.
Ambassador, based on your expertise, especially with South Korea, wondered what you thought about the idea that President Moon had been quite instrumental in mentoring and advising Kim Jong-un before he went into this meeting, and did the South Koreans end up with more or less than they thought they would?
Well, I haven't heard what President Moon has said to characterize it. I think they were disappointed that there was not at least a small step forward on denuclearization. But the thing that's most worrisome with regard to the South is the president's announcement, apparently without coordinating with the South Koreans or with the Pentagon, that he's going to suspend these large-scale military exercises, which are really critical for keeping forces at a high level of readiness, interoperability, so that we can go into action if there's a North Korean aggression. So that, I think, squandered a little bit of our leverage going into these talks that Pompeo will head. And I hope that it doesn't undermine the chances of getting real denuclearization.
My last question for you is, Secretary Pompeo, in the briefing right before the summit, said that he believes that we are on the same page and understand and have the same definition of denuclearization as the North Koreans. Do you think that's true?
I'm not yet convinced of that. I mean, he may have heard things in private that go well beyond this joint statement. But at the moment, we have to assume some of their previous positions still hold, and that they're not ready for the kind of very intrusive verification that's needed to both inventory what they have and then witness the systematic dismantling of the missiles, the weapons, the nuclear reactors that make the material, etc. So, I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's gotten the message, at least what he has to agree to, but I don't think he's agreed to it yet.
Interesting. Well, we'll keep checking in with you. We appreciate your expertise, Ambassador Alexander Vershbow. Thank you.
Yeah.